Hello guys.
Breaking news, we interrupt your feed. The deal is done, the ink is dry, somebody call the lead. Russia and Iran just shook hands on 25 bills. And somewhere in a golf cart, a president went still. Yeah. September 25th, the cameras weren't invited. Rosetta walked in the room, both sides were delighted. Iran Hormones Company, they signed on the line for nuclear power plants. Hormones getting by design, 5,000 megawatts. That's the Sirik Coastline plan. The weapon said Tehran, just lights for every man. But the Western press was watching with their coffee going cold, because the timing of this deal was honestly bold. UN sanctions dropping in a matter of hours. Russia signs the contract while the West flexes power. China and Russia at the council with a draft. The Europeans triggered Snapback, everybody laughed, because you cannot sanction what already got built. And the Kremlin signed the papers without an ounce of guilt. This is chess, not checkers, this is theater and trade. This is, we'll be your contractor while the West throws a grenade. 25 billion, somebody's making power. The anchors calling panic every single hour. Trump is playing golf, Putin's playing chess. Iran signed the contract and no SMS. Call it surrender, call it nuclear fear, call it whatever gets the most clicks this year. The deal is done, the cameras found their spin. Everybody's losing, but the headlines win. Now cut to the studio, the hot takes are loading. The Chiron says surrender and the host is exploding. Trump allowed this happen, well that's quite a stretch. The deal was signed in Moscow, not on Mar-a-Lago's deck. But stretching is the business when the algorithm pays. You need the panic angle or the viewers walk away. So Russia builds Iran nukes, well civilian they say. And the anchor says, but still though, 14 times a day. Meanwhile in the background there's a Tomahawk twist. The Pentagon just canceled what was on Germany's list. Long-range cruise missiles that Biden had arranged. Trump pulled the deployment, said the Russia risk change. Now is that appeasement or a strategic position? Depends entirely on the channel and your mission. Call it weakness, call it caution, call it reading the room. Either way the European headlines went boom. Hold on, let me slow this down, because something smells funny in this media town. The World Cup's coming, 2026 is here. America, Canada, Mexico, the stadiums are near. And you're telling me that right now at this exact moment, every major power picked a nuclear component to escalate the headlines and control the news feed, while the tournament's approaching and the sponsors agreed. I'm not saying nothing, I'm just saying it's convenient that the story cycles angry and the timing is lenient. That every press conference drops a diplomatic bomb right when you'd expect the world to just be calm. The Bering Strait tunnel, Trump calls it interesting, Putin calls it trade, and the analysts start glistening. 25 billion here, a tunnel proposal there, and the World Cup plays in cities, but nobody seems to care. Then the president walks out, press conference, midday sun. Somebody asks about Iran and he starts to run. Not literally running, he's standing at the stand, but the answer went from nukes to coal and then to a ban. He said the Ayatollah could be a good guy in some rings. Honor to meet him if it gets us somewhere that sings. The reporters wrote down softening, an historic shift, while the base at home was giving the television a swift channel change. Because that was not the script they sold. The script was maximum pressure, not respect for the bows. And now the commentators need to reconcile the brand. Maximum pressure, Trump and honor to meet Trump hand in hand. It's not surrender, it's not weakness, it's just deal-making mode. Every autocrat's a good guy if they lighten up the load. Let's talk about the factory that never shuts down. The 24-hour cycle spinning stories around town. Every network needs a villain and a hero for the week. Every anchor needs a narrative that keeps the ratings peaked. So Monday, Russia's winning, and on Tuesday, Trump's afraid. By Wednesday, there's a summit, and by Thursday, deals are made. And Friday brings the panic that the producers love the most, the one where everybody's losing ground from coast to coast. But here's the thing about the panic that they're selling you tonight. The people signing documents seem perfectly alright. Iran, Hormones, and Rosetta, they shook hands and smiled wide. Nobody in that Moscow room was running left or right. They knew exactly what they wanted. 4 plants on the coast, 5,000 megawatts of power, energy is the boast. While television studios were calling it a threat, the engineers in Sirik were reviewing every spec, because energy is energy when the winter nights are long, and a country with no power doesn't get to stay strong. Iran's got one operational plan for a nation that's eyes, but they're carrying the whole grid. That's not a surprise. So when Russia offers 4 more units, hormones get to rain, you don't ask the West constant anchors whether you should abstain. You sign the paper, shake their hand, and get back on the plane, while the pundits call it nuclear in the headlines, screaming insane. Now Putin's at the forum with the journalists around, talking peaceful energy on genuinely neutral ground. He's playing mediator, he's offering the bridge. He's the reasonable neighbor standing up on every ridge. Iran can be trusted, I vouch for their intent. He says it with a straight face and the Western press went spent. Because how do you rebut the man who's building all the plans, while also claiming peacetime in his diplomatic stance? He floated the Bering Strait, that tunnel under ice, a rail link Alaska to Siberia. Now isn't that nice? Trump called it interesting, the Kremlin called it trade, and somewhere an economist calculated what it paid. 8 billion for a tunnel, 25 for plans. Russia in the Arctic and Russia in Iran's ants. Every infrastructure deal another chess piece placed, while the West debates the optics and the headlines get erased. This is not a surrender story, this is long game design. Russia positioning for decades, drawing every line. Energy dependency, construction contracts locked, while sanctions get discussed in the Security Council's block. China and Russia veto, Britain triggered the snapback, and the deal still got signed cause the math kept the track. Now zoom out for a second from the nuclear debate, because the stadiums are ready and the fixture set a date. 32 nations coming, the Americans are hosting. The diplomatic tensions are the thing they mention most. Will Iran play? Will Russia watch? Will politics invade? The 90 minutes on the pitch where geopolitics gets delayed. Because the beautiful game is the way you're breaking through, and everything is burning and you need a different view. But even at the World Cup, the agendas follow close. The sponsors watching carefully which nations get the most, which broadcast rights get licensed, in which territory sold. Because $25 billion deals affect the bold business calculations that the cameras never show. The infrastructure underneath the tournament's big blow. So while the Lego crowd is cheering from the stands, the real negotiations happen shaking different hands. And somewhere in Port Harcourt, someone's watching the feed. Somewhere in Lagos, someone's trying to read between the lines of every headline spinning fast, asking which of these big stories is actually going to last. Because the Iran deal affects the energy price chain. The Russia posture changes what Europe can maintain. The Tomahawk decision shifts the NATO calculation, and all of it lands differently in every other nation. The African we're watching knows the pattern well. When big powers make big moves, the smaller nations feel the swell. Oil prices shift, the dollar move, the imports change their rate, and the headline says Trump panics, but your wallet feels the weight. So the satirical Lego video isn't just for laughs, it's the only honest format cutting through the graphs. When everything is teetering, the spin is on full blast. Sometimes a plastic minifigure explains it unsurpassed.